Welcome once again to the Sage. What a roller coaster journey these last few programs have been. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope you, our viewers, have done the same. We've been discussing small and medium scale enterprises, their importance, but more perhaps important than that, we've had two amazing women on set with us. We've had Dr. Weyinmi Eribo, the Director General of the WASIMA, the Women's Chamber of Commerce, and Mrs. Ngozi Rowland Onuegwunwoke. Most people cannot pronounce that name, but I can.
You can just end in the Rowland.
The CEO of Spices. And what a time we have had. The topics, it's been absorbing, beautifully spoken, and remarkable women who in their own right have achieved so much. But I am excited as an old mother, now preparing someday to exit the scene, to say something that an old woman like me is so happy to know will be there, carrying on the gospel, you know. We've been in the last episode to actually see the wonderful array of support and equipment which WASIMA provided to the BME group, led by Ngozi. So it can be done. We've seen an amazing example of hard work, persistence actually yielding fruit. But I say to both of them, as they talked, I felt as if somebody had gone back, expoed. Nigerians know what expo is. Copycatted on my life. And in these two amazing young people, I see my life being replicated. And I am excited because I see you reaching much greater heights than I ever dared to reach. But also, as they talked, I saw a great deal of our principles, our goals, our activities, though on a small scale, being mirrored by what WASIMA is doing. Again, let me also say, as I said offset to Weyinmi, that whatever Ngozi is today, and she's an amazing, I'm so proud of her. I like to think that C4C helped to make it possible. We're very proud of her. Someday I hope she will win all the awards in this country.
Yeah.
Because C4C will claim with pride and dignity that this is what we want. And so I want to use this last part of this discussion to zero in on potential collaboration. But before I do that, let me say, why do I think Weyinmi is the perfect person to embark on this conversation? Let me read a little. I read a bit of her bio before, but let me read a little bit of it that I think is particularly relevant to this discussion. In addition to her extensive professional enterprises, she is a successful entrepreneur herself who has founded and run several businesses. Her entrepreneurial spirit and hands-on experience in business management provides her with a very unique insight and practical leadership, which leverages to support and mentor other women entrepreneurs. She is passionate about promoting women's economic inclusion and has established herself as an industry leader and trusted leadership advisor. Again, when you think about those things, it describes what C4C strives to produce. And therefore, I think it's a meeting and potential collaboration divinely opportune. We have the same goals. For us, it is entrepreneurship, empowering them, providing them the knowledge, the skills to be successful entrepreneurs. Many of our entrepreneurs, not by our special selection, are indeed women. We believe, as you elaborated earlier in the previous programs, in everything you say, helping them to be able to pitch and sell themselves, to understand their business, to structure their business, to get resources for their business. I can go on
and on.
And on. Success defined for C4C is success. Defined for Wasima, and success defined for SEM Spices and her clusters of entrepreneurs. It's the same goals. And so the natural conclusion to this discussion is how let's explore the possibility of potentiating each other. It's a win-win. So I throw the ball open. So if you leave me as CEO of C4C, I will immediately give you instructions on what and what we should be doing together. But let me be a diplomat, diplomatic and democratic, and throw it up. Let's to both of you to begin to roll the discussion. How do you think we can move this forward?
I think I would like to throw it to Ngozi because she knows Wasima, she knows C4C, so she'll have a better understanding of the areas of integration. And then, you know, I'll pick up from what she says at the ones that are possible. So, yeah.
C4C as an organization, the goal basically is to train entrepreneurs to be better business owners and build structure in their businesses. And apart from building structure, when they build the structure and become better entrepreneurs, what next? What happens to their finished goods? You know, what happens to their businesses and all that. And for me, I think that's where Wasima comes in, because Wasima doesn't only support the capacity building, they also create access to markets, access to finance. Because if you train them, how do they get the funding to, you know, beyond what C4C can provide? How do they get the funding to scale their businesses? So I think the partnership is amazing. It's something that I think can work, you know, so that Wasima can provide this access to market like I'm enjoying, you know. So when fellows finish from C4C, due to their partnership and membership with Wasima, they can now say, okay, Wasima is providing an opportunity for you to go and showcase your product in other African countries, going for an African trade where you can learn from industry experts. They can link you, you know, to people that can even provide raw materials. There are a lot of ways that they can come together, in capacity, in access to market, and in access to finance. Because Dr. Ray Wakasha. Today I see, oh, she has signed an MOU with so. I'm like, okay, she has signed an MOU with BOS. Oh, fantastic. This is what we need.
Another MOU is coming out tomorrow, don't worry.
You see what I'm talking about. So I think these are things that fellows of C4C can do. And that cluster thing is really amazing, because really having clusters in different sectors is something that really works. Like she said, a lot of these organizations, they are reaching out to clusters now, you know, because they will tell you that if they work with clusters, they reach more people than working with individual businesses. So C4C has that, let's say, population now or number that can even within C4C have a couple of clusters found. and these clusters can now have a wider benefit. So they know that as they are coming to C4C, beyond having the fellowship program, they are already having probably a membership or
doors opening
and doors opening. So we are not just teaching you, we are not just giving you equipment grants. Beyond this, we are also giving you a larger access to finance. We are giving you a larger access to market, so you produce and you have what you can sell.
Okay, I think it's interesting, but I will first put that out that WASIMA is a membership-based organization. So the support that we provide are support to our members, first of all, right? So the first conversation will be, us actually sitting down to say, look, how many fellows do you have within C4C for now? If we're going to break them into clusters, how many clusters can we break them into? And then we find a way to bring those clusters into the membership of WASIMA. What she has said about access to funding is extremely true. So when they come in, it will be that the people who have graduated, from the program, then have more access to funding opportunities for their businesses. Indeed, a lot of people are coming to cluster to business support organizations like ours now, because I'll give an example. There's the 75 billion naira fund provided by the federal government, which is being provided through the Bank of Industry. We're working very closely with the Bank of Industry to ensure that our members are able to access that funding. They're working with all organizations within the private sector, which is called the organized private sector. So NASIMA, WASIMA, MAN, NECA, the rest of them, they've come through associations like ours to ensure that they are reaching the right kind of businesses. Because of course you don't want to fund the wrong people. You want to fund people who are actually doing business. And like I said, for somebody who is intentional about paying to join an association, it's already a level of seriousness that you have shown. So they've come to us. We have quite a number of different organizations that come to us to say, look, we're doing this for women, give us 20 women. We're doing this for women, give us 10 women. We have a program that's currently running in Lagos, between Lagos and Ogun, which is called the Have Finance Accelerator, which is really a hand-holding program that is really just putting women to be structured financially to be able to access funding. So when you talk about audited accounts, their own structures, their inventory, getting them to understand what it means to actually run structured businesses, and it's being done for them free of charge. Within that program, we have 3 members of a particular cluster in Lagos who were beneficiaries from that program. So usually we have opportunities like that. So when we have such opportunities, we will call the leaders of the clusters to say, look, there's an opportunity, we need 3-4 members from your cluster. Select who you think will fit this particular program. And I see it the same way as what we can do for C4C, with C4C. If we have particular programs that are structured to particular sectors, we can reach out to say, look, okay, you have this cluster, who are the 3, 4, 5 people who can benefit from this program? Send their profiles to us and we'll make sure that they get into the program. Another thing that might be interesting for those of them who are exporting or who intend to export, right? We recently signed an MOU with NICET. So NICET is a certification organization. In fact, now we're actually talking to them around building certifications for clusters. So the opportunities are there. It will just be for us to really just sit down to think, look through what possible clusters can we bring out. For those of them who want to register as individuals, it's fine if they take the route that you want to take. But for the cluster conversation, if that's where C4C sees more of the strength, we can build a cluster support, cluster support network within the C4C, and just know that, look, once you graduate from this program, these are the opportunities through WASIMA. In fact, as you graduate, you automatically become a part of that cluster under, through C4C, under WASIMA. And then, the support that's available will really just extend it to all our members. But the idea is we want to ensure that people who are paying to be members of WASIMA get value for the membership organization. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really a lot when you look at it because of the value of stuff that, if you think of what you paid and what you received, it's not even like half of half. But it's just to show the level of seriousness.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, and unfortunately, it's a space that we see ourselves, but when people are given free stuff, they don't appreciate it as much.
Absolutely.
So we want to see that skin in the game, to say that, okay, yes, we're willing. And C4C actually doesn't have to pay for it. If you are fellows under C4C and you have an example here and you tell them, just like you did with BMF, to say, you people come together and rally yourselves and bring this one. We have one that, if we do the math, the lowest one for about 15 members. If you do the math, it's literally 1,000 naira a month for 15 people. It comes to, I think, 180,000 but it's 15 people. Imagine 15 people paying 1,000 naira a month. That's 12,000 times 15. That's 180. So we did it in such a way that no matter who you are, you can find your place, within the chamber. So I think there are several areas that we can, work together with your fellows.
The obvious way forward is to sit down off camera and discuss it. But let me say a few things. One is, we produce entrepreneurs, so to me, payment is not, they shouldn't, as I've had to remind them, you're not in school, you're not school children anymore. You run a business, and therefore that they pay 1,000 or they pay 10,000 or even pay, they're entrepreneurs. They make earnings and they should invest it, it's in themselves.
Indeed.
Before I go on to address some of the other ones you have said, let me say, Ngozi as a beneficiary sometimes doesn't see some of the other things. She's talked about helping them put structure and so on. But what C4C does, which oftentimes is intangible also, but which is a tenet, a key principle of our program, is motivation, helping them to re-understand themselves, the fact that they're special, building their confidence in themselves. That is actually what will make somebody like Ngozi. She has it in herself. They are. We're not saying we put it in them. For instance, she was class rep. The class saw it. But where she was doubting herself, her group saw the amazing potential in these human beings. And I'm very proud to say that all our products have come out energized, believing in themselves. We teach them the need for hard work. Nothing in life is ever easy. They are a network, which is part of what you try to do when you talk about clusters. The C4C group is already a network. And indeed, she leads that network. So they're a pool there. But some of them can also join individually if they want. It is up to them. So it is all there. We teach them to pitch. In fact, many times, the first time they make a public presentation is under the platform of C4C. You produce a PowerPoint, you face an audience, you sell your business, you do an elevator pitch. We teach them. Those are the skills that allow them to be positioned to benefit maximally from some of the support and things you do. So it is all there. But it would be wonderful if, in a way, something we can also do for them is that, to a certain extent, some certainty that bigger opportunities, doors have now been opened. We teach you to pitch, but we've always dreamed of having an angel investors meeting, for instance, where they can pitch to investors who would invest in them. What you're doing supports that beautifully.
Yes.
Because for us in C4C, we are growing mega businesses. Someday, I believe it will come to pass. A business can only be mega when it's continually expanding. In fact, when they graduate, they present a business plan. We must invite you to the graduation this year, in which they talk about short-term, medium-term, and long-term, prospects, and their business plans demonstrate that. We tell them, you're not running your shop every day from here is not why we have enrolled you in the program. It is for you to see yourself. If I may apologize for perhaps using our future Dangotes and so on. And there's no reason why they can't get there. So for us, Wasima is very important as a collaborator. We're not asking necessarily for money into C4C.
Of course.
We produce you. It's like we're like soil, a garden from which you come and reap for your own purposes.
And we also, provide some of these things free of charge to people who are not full members. Sometimes we extend our programs out and leave it open. So it's not. I'm saying it for the benefit of your viewers as well, because at the end of the day, some people will still say, "Oh, they don't have money to pay." But we're just saying that we also have some of these things completely free for anyone, as long as you're a woman-owned business. But I mean, like I said, I see quite a bit that we can do together, and really just find a way to structure it in such a way that it makes sense, for everyone, for the fellows especially, because at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do, right? And I think this, for me, the conversation is spurring my mind, because it just means that as we're bringing in more clusters, we need more support for clusters. So my head is moving in different places. How do we ensure that we're actually able to get, because for this one now, we could only do for 4 or 5 clusters, but there's supposed to so much more. How do we bring in the right kind of partners that can provide these kind of opportunities for the clusters that are coming. And I see that, C4C is not stopping anytime soon. So those fellows are going to keep increasing.
Increasing every year. We'll take about 25 to 30 every year.
So we need to ensure that, whatever we're doing, there's also the sustainability, part of it, to ensure that it can, continue. But I'm happy. I'm happy that, I've seen your source now. I know your source now. And it just gives me a sense of the other kind of people, that will be graduates of the fellowship, as well. So, we're excited and happy to see how,
what's that infuse her into the entrepreneurship program as well?
I was going to that is just, when she says you think alike, and I assured you that I felt at peace. It's because we think alike a lot.
Indeed.
That was the next thing I was going to say. We would also appreciate your being part of the training program.
No problem.
By that I mean,
facilitating.
we have 2 in-depth training workshops. You facilitate and allow them to know what you do as Wasima. You see, that is what already primes them and positions them for being able to apply and benefit from your program.
Funny
so
enough,
please, we welcome your being part of our training program.
One of the things that I really love is teaching. I don't think I've maybe never refused a teaching opportunity, because it's one of the places where you don't have to think like a madam. Just be with these people and just share your experience. A lot of the times when I'm facilitating classes is usually from a place of what I've done, because it makes it easier for you to connect with the businesses. So yes, I will definitely be happy to come share my knowledge and expertise and my journey with them.
And by the same token, do invite us, even as C4C, to events you organize, so that we listen and understand and see how we can build it and better position our products to participate in what you do.
Indeed.
And so it's a discussion I don't want to end. But before, every good thing must come to an end. And so before we wind up, can I ask both of you to turn and look at the camera and say what you want as last words to our audience? Let me start with you.
The pressure. I don't want to sound biased, so I would just say to every entrepreneur out there, instead of saying to every woman entrepreneur, I would say to every entrepreneur out there, as long as you've started, there is a future for you. Just keep at it. Consistency, courage, like Mommy said, even though I didn't know that was what it was at the time, but consistency, courage, belief in yourself, belief in a higher power will keep you going. But please, as long as you've started, just keep going. There's support that's available. Take advantage of all of the support that you can get. Those that are free, those that are not, as much as possible, invest in yourself. But just know that if you have been giving something in your hands, which is your business, then you have the resources to get you through to the place that you want to see. And your business can only grow as far as you want it to grow. The limits that you have in your mind is how far your business will grow. So I encourage you today to start, to continue, and seek help where you need to seek help.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you. Ngozi?
Nothing much to say, just to say giving up does not exist in our dictionary. So as an entrepreneur in this current economy, I know it's not easy. Trust me, but you're not alone. The struggle is real. It's real for everybody. But like I always encourage entrepreneurs today, I said diversification, I think, is one of the coping strategies for businesses today. So find what you can do using what you already have. By that I mean, in my own case, I was able to diversify product using the equipment I already have on ground. So there must be something that's a resource you have. You can use it to get multiple sources of income. So think outside the box. This is not an economy where you think like normal people. You have to be crazy upstairs for you to be able to survive. But giving up shouldn't be an option for you, because no matter what it is, you're not alone. And like Dr. Wade said, there is help. Reach out. There are people who are willing. You might have gotten 10 no's, but trust me, you can get that one yes.
Thank you. Spoken like a real C4C fan. Sometimes you enjoy, this is one of the occasions when I've enjoyed the program even more than my audience. Yeah. And where you want the discussion to go on and on. But I will not abuse the generosity of these beautiful ladies who are sitting here in front of me. But I am proud of you. You are my daughters. I have grown-up daughters your age and older who are also professionals in the world and doing well. So I think I have a good track record for bringing them up. But you embodied my ambitions and my wish and my hope for every woman, every young person in this country and indeed the world. So thank you. But you've also done justice to the fact that small and medium scale enterprises form a critical pillar of the progress of our country, where we support them adequately along that journey, because it is a journey. We bring good to our country. I am a passionate patriot. I've spent all my life believing in this country, all my work here in this country, and my 20 years of work outside. And I know that we are one of the greatest, potentially, countries in this world. Until I draw my last dying breath, I shall continue to work towards that. So thank you for being shining examples of that ambition and that hope. And thank you for demonstrating to our audience that enterprise is one of the major ways to go. I thank you. See you next episode.